Everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and we're here with another classic capture. Today we're playing Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. We're actually playing this on the Mega Man X collection on the PS2 because it was a little easier to capture, but I can vouch for it as a perfect emulated copy.
Mega Man!
Everything about it is perfect.
Is it really?
Yes, this game came out in 1994 and is my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. I wasn't a big Mega Man fan for the NES by itself, but the SNES version, which was this, was a much darker storyline. At least it hinted at it. I mean, there's a little bit of story intermixed here with some scenes with specific main characters, but there was enough here to know that something was not right. Specifically this. This scared the shit out of me in 1994. I was 9 years old, and I remember this coming out, and I thought, holy fuck, did I do something? Did it break it? And then I remember reading this a couple of times, like, I didn't really understand what it meant. I just knew, like, this is some serious shit going down right now. And, the part that tripped me out was at the end, he's like, hey, this motherfucker, I think the line that gets me the most of this whole thing is, the results would be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. That alone, I remember as a kid, that was chills right there. And the last bit that got me is at the end, where he signs it T-Light 20XX.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s.
Yeah, but I mean, still, when I was 9, it was like, whoa, wait, Dr. Light's dead. And he's like got a super powered robot that makes regular Mega Man look like shit. Yeah, that was pretty intense. And then the intro alone, it's like Mega, and then
Mega Man.
Hey, stop fucking ruining it.
I can't.
This isn't regular Mega Man. You respect X.
Mega Man X. See, it can be rewritten, son of a bitch.
And this was also probably one of the best first starting stage tracks ever. And it just dumped you right into the action. It's like, hey, look, here you go. Start firing that shit. Mega Man X already had the ability to charge, which was in the original NES Mega Man games later on. But it was a mainstay here because charging was not only for regular weapons. You could eventually charge your enemies' weapons, the ones that you picked up from the dead bosses or blown-up bosses or however you want to say. And the music and everything about this was just like, holy shit, this is intense. And back in those days, none of the bosses in the original Mega Mans were really anything super big, or like there was nothing about them that were way out of the ordinary, especially in size. I think it's size that really got us. And then the first thing you see is this big fucking, you'll see it right now, this big fucking like fly helicopter comes out of nowhere and starts firing at you. And at first I thought this was the boss. This is my first playthrough I'm talking about. And I'm just like, holy shit, it was like, this thing is firing at me. And I remember going down, I was like, oh, okay, so if this is just a mini boss, like, we got some intense shit that's going on here. And I was right. Another thing was the ability to climb up the walls that way. That was also, basically X had everything, or has everything that Mega Man had, but better. Not to mention, it's better looking overall.
And then the second fly came out, and you're like, holy shit!
Yeah, I was like, oh man, how many guys have to kill? I was like, what's going on here? I remember buying this at Fedco in Pasadena. If you're not from California, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. If you're from Southern California and know what Fedco is, you are old enough to remember that. You are probably clapping your hands and going, yep, that was the place. Anyway, that's old history making me sound ancient. Anyway, yes, it was excellent. Just everything about this first level was intense. It was like, holy shit, the world's going to hell. There's robots flying everywhere. You're some kind of utopia, or and
dystopia.
No, well, it was utopia.
No, motherfucker, dystopia. Because I said so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you just start playing through this level, and I can keep going on and on about how it felt like the first day, the first time. And then these cars came up, and then you figure out if you shot it enough, without killing it, you could ride it. And back in the day, it felt all badass. Like you'd time it so that when they fired at you, like first you jump them and fire at them, and then ride it. It's like, yeah, I'm the shit. Huh? What are you gonna do about it? Like a boss.
Except really, really good, bad color matching.
Well, whatever. And then you just rode this thing until the level like stopped. That was like the level limit, and then it drops 3, which you don't need to necessarily destroy. You just actually just pop them on the top off. Although you could destroy them. You probably would want to if you want health. But then again, that's kind of irrelevant. And then things get really weird. I remember saying, what the fuck is going on? Okay, boss time. Like, yeah, let's kick some fucking ass. Some X. Big old blue X. And, oh, fucking shit. You know, it's like, what the hell is this? And I remember I was really angry because you can't beat him. You can't beat Vile the first. In story context, you can't beat him. He's first of all, he's supposed to be like a war machine. You find out later that no one knows. No one really knows what you're supposed to be. They just know that you're in a capsule. They found you. Although they explain that later in the remake. And then you get caught. It's like, well, I guess maybe this has some context. I'm like, holy fuck, I died. Now it's humiliating me. It's like, god damn it. And then, all of a sudden, that's a long charge.
All of a sudden, really badly timed.
No, it takes a bit for a charge.
I know he does. Just can't hear it.
And then some of the best, like, music. I'm not as powerful enough to defeat him. And then Zero's like, yeah, don't worry about it. One day you'll be powerful. You might be as powerful as me. Kinda, I guess. Possibly. And then he snickers.
It's like, it's okay, Mega Man. In the future, they're gonna make plastic toys out of us. Available in Japan now.
Wait, what? 1994. Let's see. It is 2011. Oh, it took like
6 to 17 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. Wait, 96?
94.
Oh, 94. Yeah, 17 years.
Yeah. There's some new ones coming out. Excited. But yeah, you knew Zero was badass, and you're like, god damn it. And anyone who played Mega Man automatically assumed Proto Man. Although he didn't kill you, so you were like, well, maybe he's not the bad guy. There's a password system, because obviously you couldn't save. Although you could save in other games, I don't know. The first level you always started with was Chill Penguin, because he was the easiest to kill, and if you know anything about Mega Man, you kill the bosses in order.
And look at him, he's just fucking adorable.
She's like, yeah?
He's a penguin that's chilling, and you're destroying penguins. That's not cool, dude.
Whatever.
That is not cool. Oh, look at the poor bunnies. No, the poor bunnies. What the fuck is that thing throwing those at you?
They're little. Oh, that, yeah.
It's a robot.
He shows up, like, he's supposed to be like a lumberjack, I guess. And keep in mind, viewers, it's a little different playing on a PS3 controller than the Super Nintendo. Actually, I think it was a little easier on the Super Nintendo.
The gist of the story is bitch, bitchity, bitch,
hey.
bitch. It's happened multiple times.
The Super Nintendo controller was a lot smaller. Because you used to hold the Y button, which was the top the top button for charging and firing, and then you would use the bottom of your thumb for jumping. Now you can do the same thing on the PS2 controller because they have a similar layout. You know, it's been.
But it's sideways.
But no,
it's on the SNES, right?
No. It's actually it's sideways on here too. No, it's just larger. There's more space between the buttons. If you hold a Super Nintendo controller and you hold a PS3 controller and you try to hold the charge button.
Yeah, but because the SNES controller is a little more horizontal than it.
No, I'm just saying it's smaller. Smaller in general. It was just easier to do. But you know, whatever. I still get by here. That's because we're playing an emulated version. It looks better, or it's easier to capture for this series. And this is my favorite part of the game. Dr. Light fucking drops some shit on you. He's like, hey, so I wanted you to live a peaceful life, but like the world's still shit. I'm dead. So here's some powers. But no, seriously, the music is like, that's got to be pretty deep. And if X is supposed to be able to feel where Mega Man couldn't, it's like, he's got some emotions. Besides, he didn't have like a breakdown or something. It's like, Dad. That sort of thing. I know where all those are. I memorized them. This one right here gives you the boots. You need the boots because boots are just for dashing, and believe me, dashing is necessary. Not only for later parts of the level, but basically it comes down to you were holding Y button to charge, you were jumping with B, but you're always double tapping forward to dash before you jump. And I know for me and anyone else I knew who used to play this, it was habit to always dash before jump, no matter what, because dashing almost guaranteed you always make it to the next platform. You could dash with hitting A, but since you were kind of doing a spider, kind of holding the controller in a spider kind of way, you always just double tap forward. Hitting A and then just trying to put your hands back in place was a little too hard. So double tapping forward was always the best way. Best bet. Did you ever play X?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I played X4 on PS1.
I got nothing against X4. Well, I kind of did. He doesn't get armor.
That's true.
And
I still remember that game was a bitch, though.
And X was always, the big thing about X was he got the white armor, which was, he was more powerful. And we didn't get that 4. Although 4 from, I guess all those were okay. All the PlayStation ones, I have them. And I also have this collection, which they're all on. Although X7 and X8, which came on the PS2, were absolutely horrible, and I refuse to consider them parts of the series. That's what I'm sticking to. That and Mega Man X, that RPG one, that was another horrible idea. No, Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 were pretty much the epitome, and the PlayStation ones were still decent. They still, kept to the formula as best as possible, although it was a new art style. This is something anyone who ever played this game prolifically did. You always dashed into the boss level, so screen goes forward. And Chill Penguin was very easy. You just knew when to charge, you knew when to hit him, you knew to stay away when he did that bullshit. Because he'd create those and you'd blow them at you, and they would take a lot. I think they would kill you instantly. I don't remember exactly. I never get hit by him. And just keep going. You have to hit him with a half charge when he's doing those. You always make sure to stay there. And it was easier if you could ever time the shooting your charge shot when sliding down when he's up on that hook. That made this battle go a lot faster. In fact, this is not too bad considering I haven't played this in a long time. Although I kind of revisit this one every couple of years or so. Because it's definitely on the top 10 favorites of all time. I don't know if I go top 5 because I have a lot of games, a lot of consoles, but it definitely fits. And that's it. So that was the intro and the first boss. If you've never played Mega Man X, you can get the collection, the X collection. It's like $20. Try to find it now. Not you pick these games up on the Super Nintendo. They actually range from $20 and higher, depending on condition. But definitely worth your time if you've never played them. Anyway, this is Bob from bn-games.com and Marco, and please join us next time. Thank you.
Straight.